that, the X-Men wouldn't see it, or that there would be mutants already in Afghanistan and they'd do something, and or what about like I said, Fantastic Four? Like it's like, oh, Tony Stark, cool, he goes and he fights. Well, she's the Invisible Woman. She can show up, be invisible, and kick all our asses. Or the Human Torch can show up and burn all. Like Human Torch could have shown up. This guy could, it opens all that stuff. That you're like, maybe that's what we as comic people, movies now, we want to see Iron Man and X-Men, Iron Man and Spider-Man, Iron Man, Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk, Iron Man. You want to see these people come together, and I feel like I have it's, I don't know, explain, like it's like that could end up being like Van Helsing. It could end up fucking everything up. Like, we might want it, but I have a feeling it's going to fuck everything up. Because I have a feeling that while putting them in movies together, there was a time when, like I said, when the Fantastic Four and the Silver Surfer, and they threw them together, and you were like, oh, cool, but it wasn't cool. Because like I said, I know this is a long review, but like I said, for me as a fan, when you have someone like Iron Man in the world, and then you build to something like, okay, well, the Fantastic Four exist. Then you go, okay, well, so that means Galactus exists. And that means that Galactus came and tried to eat the world. So what does that have to do with Iron Man? Absolutely nothing. So suddenly you bring something where it's like, oh, Afghanistan is a big threat. What about Latveria? Are they a threat? What about Doctor Doom? What about the Watcher? What does he have? Like, once you open that up, that box, everybody's just going to start going like, where's Nova? Where's Thor? What does this have to do with that? And what is that? And once all those people come in, it just makes, like I said, it makes Iron Man, for me, it makes it like stupid to go, it's like, oh, it started with a guy who built weapons. But like I said, they didn't, like, there's no acknowledgement to those other realms, even though it's like, you kind of are, it's been open that, like, at the end you see Nick Fury come in and talk about the Avengers. So you're sitting there going, okay, where's Ant-Man? Where's this guy? Where's that? Like, yeah, the movies are going to get to them, but, like, in your mind you're sitting there going, well, it just feels, I don't know if it was the right thing to kind of introduce S.H.I.E.L.D., because like I said, like, my thoughts were S.H.I.E.L.D., if S.H.I.E.L.D. was really S.H.I.E.L.D., there wouldn't have been an Iron Man movie. They would have come in, they would have said, you can't just go invade Afghanistan, and they would have tried to stop him. They would have, because at the end of the movie, Nick Fury is just, like, sitting in his house. So, like, they couldn't do that earlier. They couldn't, like, why didn't they care before? Just, like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's just, like, for me, I just felt like it was just, like the movie wants to be a superhero movie, but it's not. Like I said, he's Iron Man. He's not really. He doesn't even have a good theme song. I mean, like, Black Sabbath is really Iron Man's theme song. He doesn't really have his own theme song, so it's weird, man. Because if, like I said, if you read Civil War, you know that this is headed towards. He's going to meet Peter Parker. What he ends up. I'm not going to spoil it. What he ends up making Peter Parker do, and all that all, like, in my mind, I see where all that's going and where all that stuff's headed, and I'm just like, for me, watching the movie, like, just those were problems that I had. Another problem that I had, I liked Obadiah Stane. I liked Jeff Bridges playing the bad guy. I really thought, wow, because he's not bad at the first. He's not just kind of like, I'm the bad. Usually in a movie you can spot, that's the bad guy, that's the bad guy. And in this one it was, well, the bad guys were. They were the terrorists. And in my thing, I was, I don't know, maybe it was me. I was sitting there going, well, why are they terrorists? I mean, if you really think about it, I go all Ayn Rand, Ayn Rand, exactly. I should end. Ayn Rand or whatever. Yeah, I don't know her name. But I go all, when I think of Mandarin, I'm sitting there thinking, well, why are they bad guys? Well, because they're bad. They're terrorists. Look at them. They kidnap children and it's like, yeah, but I don't know how to explain it. It's just like, you don't. I'm sorry, no offense to but, like, okay, Tony Stark I'll get back on the other side. There's a point where Tony Stark is like, oh my god, we're not going to build weapons anymore. What the fuck are we going to do? What are we going to do? And I'm sitting there going, dude, you could build cars. He has a manufacturing thing that can make the Iron Man suit. You can just make cars. I mean, no offense, but car manufacturing today is really kind of shit. Like, there's Mercedes, and there's, Nissan and the Audi, but, I'd like to see Tony Stark design a car. And I can honestly tell you, if Tony Stark built a car, he could build flying cars. Think about, he could build stabilizers. Mr. Fantastic already built a flying car. They can have flying cars in this world. You trying to tell me that Tony Stark, he can build a flying suit, but he can't build flying cars? You know what I'm saying? So I'm season of, we're fucked, we have no more money, the missiles, You can build stabilizers for cars. And even that, you can still build cool, graphic, like Minority Report, the Minority Report world, all the gadgets that you see in those futuristic Blade Runner movies. Like, Tony Stark can build those things. I mean, like I said, Steve Jobs, Apple, they bring iPhones into the world. And I was looking at a lot of the screens and a lot of shit. I'm like, he could just sell that shit. You'll make money. I mean, I don't understand why it has to be missiles. I mean, he's like, well, I build missiles, and I build, and I'm like, well, that's not really. I mean, I don't know how to explain, but I was just I was looking at that and I was going, I just thought that was so stupid that it was like, oh, what are we gonna do if we don't make weapons? And I was like, well, I don't know, you can build other stuff, and also the idea that, no offense to the writers, I get, but okay, you got terrorists and they're in the, we're terrorists out here in Afghanistan, and I was sitting there going, well, technically, no offense, but I don't know, if I had Tony, I guess this is just me, but if there was a Tony Stark, if there was someone who could invent shit, I don't know about you, I wouldn't kidnap him to build me one bomb. I kidnap you. Build me a bomb. What are you going to blow up with the bomb? One thing. With rocks. It's called a building. Who's in the building? I want a missile to blow something up. What? Can't you just kill the people with a gas or something? The missile will blow things up. Are you going to attack the Pentagon? Is a big scheme behind the missile? I want a missile. Blow it up. Tony Stark. Okay, I can build that for you. Rock. I need a chip. What's that? It's a chip. I needed a quant. Tony Stark could have just made some shit. I don't have the materials. If I take you to a fucking cave and tell you gotta build me a fucking